Good morning, Mina. I'm great. How are you today?
I am doing fantastic. So today we
Great.
are actually going live on LinkedIn, we are going live on YouTube, and we're going live on Facebook. So this is quite exciting. I'm going to see how it
Okay.
goes because usually I only do live on LinkedIn or live on Facebook. So this is quite exciting. Anyway, for those
Awesome.
of you who are joining us live, welcome and thank you for joining us. So whether you are here live or catching the replay, I would love for you to say hello, tell me where you're from, and at the end of this, if you have any questions, I would love for you to also share it in the comments, okay? So today I have Cindy here with me. Cindy is the founder of Bene Networks, and I will let her talk to you a bit more about what she does. But I want to first share the topic today. Today we're talking about what it means to be an empowered woman. And so, without much ado, Cindy, welcome. And please share
Thank
a
you.
little bit more about yourself and what you do.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for having me. I know it's early for everybody in the Midwest. So thank you for being here. And also, yeah. So as Mina mentioned, I am the owner and founder of the Bene Network. The Bene Network is a community of connected professionals to be able to help people guide their way to health, wealth, and happiness. So it's a passion of mine to just again help people to living their best lives. And so I am passionate about helping people, and I found Mina, and she's helped me really take some steps forward in my business. In addition to my business, I have a young family. I am married, live in Wisconsin, and I'm also an executive as well, a business development manager as well. So my plate is full, but I love it all.
It's amazing. I'm always at awe how women can actually manage a job, business, as if that wasn't enough, and now
Right.
also family. So it's congrats for managing
Yes.
all of them. So,
Yes. It's
Cindy,
busy.
tell me a little bit more of what you think being an empowered woman actually means.
Well, I learned a lot more after the course, but really at the end of the day, being an empowered woman is having the confidence and the self-worth to be able to believe that you are worthy of living the life on your own terms, and being really comfortable in your own skin, not what other people think of you.
And why do you think being comfortable in your own skin and confident is important when it comes to creating success in your business?
Well, I mean, you have to, everything is based on energy. And if you're not comfortable, if you're not feeling confident, it will have everything to do with your business. It'll have to do with how much money you bring in your business. That was one of probably the biggest things for me, was shifting energetically to allow all that I'm worthy of to come in. Because one of the best quotes I think you've ever said was, your net worth is a correlation to your self-worth. And that couldn't be more true.
Yeah. So I haven't shared with people who are going to be joining me live as well as the replay about you joining my program. My program is the Empowered Women Academy, which I am relaunching, and it's going to be starting on Monday. It's a 6-week program where I teach women how to build their self worth and their net worth. And a lot of the work is not just based on being inspired or feeling motivated or believing certain things, but a lot of the work is actually the deeper work, because most of us carry with us the memory, ourselves carry the memory of our old traumas and our past failures, as a result of which we're not aware of it, but we constantly recreate that in our future. And so that's
Yes.
a signature program that I'm very, very passionate about and very, very proud of, because through that program, I've had so many women who've either generated 6 figures in their business or manifested 6 figure salaries. So I would love to get your perspective, Cindy, first and foremost, why you are not new to the coaching world. You've worked with many coaches, you've worked with many therapists,
Mhm.
and why did you choose to join the Empowerment Academy?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's true. I went through a divorce 15 years ago, and from that point, I hired therapists, coaches, I read books. I just dove headfirst into the self-development world, because I knew that I wanted to heal, and I knew that I had a deeper knowing that life was meant for more. I just didn't know how to get there. So I enlisted all the help I could. So 15 years ago, hundreds of, thousands of dollars later, you, Mina, were one of the only coaches that really helped me take actionable steps, right? So don't get me wrong, there was a lot of internal work that had gone into it, but you made me show up, and make your students show up, not in a, in a demanding way, but because we want to change and see growth. And the only way to do that is to put in the time and to do the work. So I very much love your no BS, but you also lead with compassion at the same time. So you have the perfect balance of helping your students and mentees actually do the work and support them, but also you don't give us really free passes. This is the work. It's our life to do, and if we want to see big changes and shifts, you have to do the work.
And thank you. And how do you think the program is different from all the other programs or like the coaching you've been able to
Yeah,
work on?
a few reasons. I think one is after each session, we're held accountable to, it's not homework because that's not a very fun way to look at it, but it's just accountability of what's our next step to get to the next step. And so sometimes I think you leave other coaches or you leave a session with a therapist and you had that 1 hour of time, but then what? Right. So in this course, you actually are left with work to do in between the sessions. And that to me, I think is groundbreaking. I think that's where the magic happens. And anybody that is going to invest in the program, for sure is the best investment, but that is, I think, a part that can't be left out. And then secondly, I would say the sisterhood. So it's so neat to be able to come in with, a dozen other women, maybe similar in stories where they're, struggling with self-image or struggling with lack of money, or they're struggling, excuse me, in relationships. It's really neat to watch their stories, to get to know them, and then watch their success throughout the 6 weeks. It's just really incredible, and you form bonds with these ladies. And I mean, I'm still in touch with every one of them, so it's really neat.
Yeah, I really, really love that. I think, unfortunately, the way the society has progressed, we are now moving into times where we constantly talk about women empowerment and, women being able to take on roles in companies or in industries where men used to lead. And all that is fantastic. Unfortunately, there is a misunderstanding that women feel we need to let go of our
Mhm.
feminine traits or we have to be more like men. And as a result
Right.
of that, we end up losing our identity, our femininity, and we also end up losing the bond that we have between ourselves as
Yes.
well as other women. And I think I too love seeing this community because I see how everyone looks out for one another. I see how
Mhm.
everyone just co elevates. And more importantly, like you said, actually do the work. And
Yes.
what tangible results would you say? Maybe you can share a little bit about what your before was and what is the after.
Sure. Sure. Well, there's many. Now looking back, there's quite a few, because you don't realize as you're going through it how much change you actually make in your life. But I was actually able to increase revenue in my business. I did also manifest this six-figure job, which I thought I didn't need, but it turns out it was perfectly planned as to, why I needed. For a little bit in my life, I thought, well, if I want to be an entrepreneur, I can't be an executive at the same time. I had this conflict that thought, um, I failed as an entrepreneur if I have to rely on an executive role. And so I really had to shift my energy. And after working with you, Mina, and having the course, it was really a deeper understanding of accepting things the way that they are now and being open to, different things happening in our life for a different reason that we may not even be able to see right now. It wasn't actually until just a few days ago that I had a wake up and I realized, wow, this is exactly why I needed this six-figure job. And I'm so grateful, because I'm able to financially do the things that I need to right now for my family and run my business at the same time. So I would say those two were big. I also was able to just finally remove myself from a relationship ties that had held me back from my divorce. There were, even after all of my coaching and everything, I was able to rewrite the story how I wanted it to end instead of how it did end. And that really changed me, because for so long I had gone through and I thought I was healed. And in fact, I would always say, I'm fine, I'm fine. But really, there were parts of me that were not fine, because
How
I
do you
was,
think, how do you think like that, because we're talking about a past relationship, how do you
mhm,
think that affected you in your business? And why do you think that after you energetically were able to let go of those ties,
yeah,
you were able to manifest six figures and
yeah.
also, make more money in your business?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have known it because again, I thought I was healed, and I thought that I would actually say, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, and I would just cover that up. And the truth was is that because we are so full of energy, we know that there was a little 20-year-old Cindy that was miserable inside, and I thought I was healed at this present moment, but there were many aspects of my life that wasn't. And so somewhere, in our bodies, we store that trauma. And if that trauma isn't healed, it just blocks us. It's kind of hard to understand until you really start diving into the work. But really, we have to have a clear energy body to be able to fully, be open to receiving. And if there's trauma stored, that blocks, kind of like a receptor, right? If you think of us like a satellite, if we've got trauma blocks, that's going to stop all the goodness from finding us.
Yeah. And lastly, why would you recommend this program? And who do you think this program is for?
Yeah, so I think the program is for anyone who feels stuck. Maybe they've been in a holding pattern either, recently or their whole life. That was where I felt like, oh, I just had these same reoccurring patterns and I just was so desperate to change. So anybody feeling stuck, and anybody who's just feels like they need support, that maybe they're not getting it. They feel like they're taking one step and not getting anywhere. Somebody who's looking for big strides and just tired of sitting on the sidelines watching everybody else successful, find success. They're just tired. They want to break out and break free from where they are and actually make some significant changes in their lives. And I'm sorry, what was the second question, Nina?
And why do you think people would should join the program? Because I know that
Well,
a lot of the times people have this issue with money, right? The relationship with money. And how do you think that this program helps you change that? Because in your case, you were able to manifest a six-figure salary, you were able to make more money in your business, and you were there when all the other participants were there who also were able to get out of debt, who were able to make more money, and also who were able to shift their relationship with money.
yeah, so this one actually gets me a little choked up because if I actually just got full body chills, because if you remember, I wanted the program so bad. I wanted to sign up so bad, and I couldn't, like I literally didn't have the money. Like that's how things were. I just literally did not. And in conversations with you, we found a way. And so I know that there's people out there who are saying, I want this, but I just can't afford it. And I get that because I was there. But sometimes you have to be creative with finding the money. And I get chills and a little emotional from it, because now sitting back, a year later, I think to myself how drastically different my life is. And I don't even think about money. When you send a link to that, it's like, oh, that's not a problem. So it's completely shifted the way that I think about money. And I never ever say I can't afford something anymore, because money is just is abundant, and shifting my mindset through the course has done that. So to me, I think everyone in life needs to take this course. I think that while I understand it does cost money, it's probably the best investment you'll ever make in your life.
Yeah, I mean, right now the course is at 1,297, and I help you manifest and make six figures. So I think do the
Mhm.
math.
Yeah, right. It's a small percentage of what your potential is, and
Yeah,
I
and
am proof of
also,
that. It's not just a sales pitch by any means, because I and many other students can say that we've made significant changes in our lives.
and also financially.
Hmm.
Thank you for
especially.
thank you for sharing that, Cindy. Because yesterday I was speaking to someone who's already signed up for the course, and it really touched my heart because she was somebody who had been working with other coaches for a very long time and paying very
Right,
high ticket, for
right,
coaches. And I mean, I'm a high ticket too, but when people sign up with me, I really don't take it lightly because I feel like the pressure is on for me because
right,
I want them to be able to get the results that they, signed up for. Um,
right.
this woman I spoke to yesterday had paid a high ticket coach, and it was a lot of money, and shared with me that she was nowhere close to where she want to be, and so she decided to sign up yesterday, and I felt very honored that she felt
Mhm.
that this was something she needed. And I think that when we say yes to ourselves, we actually
Yes,
change what is possible for
for
us
sure.
in our future. So
Yes.
what are your dreams now? What is the next thing you want to create? Because when you first joined the course, you wanted to be able to make more money, you wanted to become happier, you wanted to change your relationship, you were able to do all of that. And now I know
Hmm.
that because we in our life we're always looking for the next goal and the next goal and the next
Hmm.
goal.
Hmm.
So what is the next goal?
Well, one thing that we haven't had a chance to discuss yet was building our dream home. And so in August, I took steps to be able to do that. So, as I mentioned, just in brief passing, we sold the home that we're currently in, and we have plans as we speak to build our dream home. So, that's really exciting. That was one of my biggest professional goals. And then ultimately, the goal for my business is to be able to get it financially stable enough that I can walk away from my corporate executive role. As much as I do love it, and I think it's been there for a reason, I really want to be able to serve the world in a greater capacity through my own work. And so it is being able to quit my day job so that I can focus all of my energy on um, my business and my children. So one of the biggest goals, if you remember, is also just being present and being a conscious parent. And right now I'm conflicted in that space. So I would say that's another big goal of mine is spending more time with my children and husband.
Amazing. I mean, I think that, since you've completed the program and now and then when I speak to you, I just see like there's so many changes in your life, and the changes are very much aligned with the future vision that you created during the Empowerment Academy. I don't know whether you remember this because I do. One of the visions you had was a beautiful home, and you even had the pictures.
Yep,
So, I remember that. And then for you to be getting into this apartment now, which is like your dream home, for me is you creating the reality instead of you allowing reality to dictate
right.
your own way of being.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that comes down to being so confident in oneself that I'm not afraid of anything. So, to give you an example, when we put our house on the market, my husband panicked, and he's still panicking. And he goes, "I just can't believe you're not afraid." And I said, I don't have to be afraid because I fully trust that everything is working out just so perfectly because in my mind it already has. And so that's so neat. People are like, wow, you made a really big decision and a really big change, and you're just so calm. And I think that's just a big part of it is that I feel so confident in every step that I take, and I know that I'm guided along the way. So it just helps you make big decisions in life without second guessing when you feel that you're worthy of everything that's coming for you.
Amazing, incredible. Really, I'm so proud of you, Cindy, and I
Thank you,
can't wait.
Mina.
I can't wait to see you grow even more because every time I speak to you, like I said, you just at a different level, elevating, elevating, elevating. And so, for those of you who are watching this live and catching the replay, I want you to just take a page out of Cindy's book and draw some inspiration here, because if you are stuck in a situation where you feel financially you don't have what it takes, or financially you don't think you're going to be able to afford a $1,000 program. I mean, like Cindy said, there was a time when she looked at the price and thought, I can't afford it, but she trusted her gut, she went with it, and now she can look at this price tag and say, oh, it's not even an issue.
Mm-hmm.
So just remember, everything that you want is already here. Now it's only about how you choose to show up and whether you're willing to actually do the work on yourself. Okay, thank you so much. And
Absolutely.
thank you for joining me live. And I look forward to connecting with you again, Cindy.
Thank you so much, Mina. I appreciate you and all that you do, and good luck to everybody out there.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thanks, Mina. Have a wonderful